Hello 108 students, welcome back to page 4 of section 6.2. We're going to wrap up this section here. We've got a couple tough problems to work with, but before we handle those, this example 6a I mentioned on the last video. I really wanted to do it first, and here's the reason why. When you look at this trinomial and they ask you to factor it, remember, two sets of parentheses multiplied together would boomerang back through FOIL and give you the trinomial. That's your goal here. Now, you look at the A coefficient here and you go, oh, thank God, it's only a 3. 3 is a prime number, so your only options to get a positive 3 are 3x and 1x. That is why it's a whole lot easier than the last problem when that A coefficient was a 12. You had all those crazy combinations. Okay, so real quickly, I think I said just lock down the first terms with the 3x and an x. Don't go switching them around as you try different combinations. Lock them down and work on your third term or your last term, and this one's fairly easy. What times what is a positive 2? You only have two choices, a 2 and a 1 or a 1 and a 2, and the order matters now. Okay, when we just had the A coefficient was a 1 and it was x squared, x times x, it didn't matter the order. Now the order matters. Okay, so when you put the 3x and a 1x, whether you put a 2 and a 1 or a 1 and a 2, it matters. And here's the proof. You got to do steps 5, the unlock the safe, the O and the I, or the OI I used to call it. You get 2x, you get 3x, you add them up, you get 5x. That does not equal the middle term, so therefore this is the wrong combination. Switch the 2 and a 1, make it a 1 and a 2, unlock the safe, the O and the I, and bingo, you've got 7x, and that's how you do those. Okay, now that's not bad. Example 7, we look at these and boom, look at that A coefficient, it's an 18. You got factors of 2 and 9, 6 and 3, even 1 and 18. You hardly ever use those. Okay, now rule number 1 says look for a GCF. I look at 18, 19. 19 is a prime number, so you can't pull anything out. Okay, and I look at the third term. It's a negative 12. Don't forget, you'll put the x and the x to give you x squared. A lot of combinations. Okay, and this is going to test your patience here a little bit. You got many factors. Okay, this is where keep track of the order of which combinations you're using. So when you find the ones that do not lock the safe, you keep track of them, mark them off so you don't go crazy and start repeating yourself. Okay, now these are acronyms I'm not supposed to teach you in class, but this is a PIA problem. It's a pain in the you-know-what. Okay, so you got to be patient here. Now, I am going to go with a hunch here of trying the 2 and a 9. Now, I wrote 9m and 2m. That order doesn't matter, but I'll stick with what I have here. Now, the combination is what can I get with a negative 12 for the last term? So I'm going to try a positive 4 and a negative 3. And the order matters even when you have that. So you can see the complexity of this. But this is the right order here because you multiply the inner, you get 8xm. The outer gives you 3 times 9 is negative 27. Add them up as a negative 19xm. That is the middle term, and I unlock the safe. Okay, now that's nice and easy for me. You could see you have to have a lot of patience. Now, I'm going to have another video called the box method. Please watch it. It's a method you might like to help you with these trinomials. I've got a lot of combinations of trying to unlock the safe. Okay, so that's my recommendation, is that you look at those and see if they help. Okay, now this last example 8 we're going to work on here. It's going to try to show you, the technique is if you see a negative A coefficient, multiply the entire trinomial by a negative 1, and that is in effect the same as switching all the signs, but if you multiply by a negative 1, they become a positive, a negative 16, and negative 12. So they want you to solve it for a positive A coefficient. When you've done that, then the rest of it falls in place pretty quick. A 3x and an x is what you're going to put in for the F. Negative 12. Instead of trying 3 and 4, it turns out if you put a plus 2 and a minus 6 in, you plug them in, it will unlock the safe, and you got your answer. Okay, so that the big technique here is if you see a negative a coefficient, switch all the signs or multiply by -1 and make sure you're starting with a positive. Okay, now this example 10 here is called the substitution technique, and it's going to catch your eye because they're going to tell you to factor this trinomial and look at the parentheses. It's 2 times the quantity x plus 3, and then it's plus the middle term is 5 times the quantity x plus 3 minus 12. The clue to use this technique is to realize that parentheses is throwing you off, and whatever that is here on the b term, remember it's ax squared plus bx, whatever would be the middle term here, that is what you're going to substitute. So you're going to take that parentheses x plus 3 and you're going to assign it a variable t for temporary. You can use any variable you want, but the book uses t, and I kind of like that because I think it's temporary. Temporarily, you're going to assign the quantity of the parentheses x plus 3 as t. Substitute it back into the equation. So instead of x plus 3, it's t squared. X plus 3 is t. Now that you've got a t in here, ask yourself, can you factor this? And the answer is yes. And I see what times what gives you 2t, 2t, and a 1t. You got negative 12. I tried negative 3 and 4. Okay. And that unlocks the safe real quick here. We could negative 3t, and then we've got what? 8t, add them up is a 5t, so yes, that unlocks the safe. Then what you do is it's double, you substitute in t, and then once you've got a value for the factoring, instead of putting t, you substitute x plus 3 back in. So everybody see how you're going to do that? And so instead of wherever you saw a t, you put the x plus 3 in. So here's the substitution. Here's the substitution. And then from here, clean things up a little bit. Do the distributive property. 2t plus 6 minus 3. There's a coefficient of 1, so now you've got x, and you got 3 plus 4 is 7. Down here, 6 minus 3 is 3, so you got your final answer is 2x plus 3 times x plus 7. Okay, so just remember that whatever in that middle term, bx, whatever's sitting there, what would be the x, that is always going to be what you're going to substitute t for. Okay, Mr. McHugh here. We worked hard here on this section here. I'm going to give you a double check mark here. We have finished section 6.2. Okay, kudos to your good work here, and I just want to say today happens to be summer solstice here. It's June 20th, the longest day of the year, so you probably won't watch this video today, but hopefully you remember this day and know how gorgeous it was out there. Okay, everybody, class, you're doing good, so I will catch you when we start 6.3. Okay, so I'll say sayonara for now. Bye.